big heart.
I don't know how to word this.
Yeah, she doesn't have much brain cells, but she has a heart.
So in July of 2022, Brian Atlas switches his whatever channel from making very successful prank videos to hosting his first whatever.
Dude, I love the whatever thing. It's where we had Jabba the Hutt. She was amazing.
Podcast episode.
And
Is that a sex doll next to him? Nice. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Gorlog. Sorry, it wasn't Jabba the Hutt. Oh, I'm stupid. Sorry. Yeah, Gorlog the Destroyer. My bad.
we are live.
Now, Brian got his inspiration for the
Sorry.
podcast from the now infamous Fresh and Fit podcast in Miami that was blowing up at the time.
Yo, chat, what do y'all want, man? Y'all want us to kick her off the show, or do you...
Okay, I must ask. I must ask. So if Pokimane is like a 6, an aggressively mid chick, then how do you feel about these chicks? Are they also like mid? Are they hotter or less hot? A 3, a 2, 3, 2, 1? I am not going to TwitchCon. Fuck that. Nuh-uh. No. A 2, 1? I can't with you. I can't tell if you're just like lying to me or what's up with this. Stop glazing me. I don't believe you.
Y'all want us to kick her off the show, or do you guys want her to stay? This
Bro.
The high chance of gonorrhea is really tanking their score.
The what? Ew. Bunny! Hello. Look past hotness. I can't. There are like tits in the way. I'm sorry, I can't.
I think that's what you've learned in life.
Seriously, can you stop cutting me off?
Show if I'm not allowed to.
And even though Brian kept the core of the podcast the same,
Shout out to Fresh and Fit for the inspiration. Check them out on YouTube.
I can't rate them. I can't see their personalities.
Okay, how about that? I can see some of her personalities. I can totally rate her. Ah?
he decided to polish it up by taking a calmer and less combative approach toward.
Ah, dude, what was that in his neck? Why is there a bite missing out of it? What in the AI mystery is that? Ah.
his guest and relying more on the concept.
Oh. Dude, this is photoshopped. This is photoshopped because this part looks flat. It looks like that you know when you accidentally punch your car and then it has like that little hole in it? That's what the boobie look like. That you actually just have a little boobie in it. Little, you know? Yeah, the boob dent. Right? Do you see it? I listen. I'm a professional boob observer, okay? And I'm seeing the dent in this boob. It's my job, okay? I'm a professional boob observer. Yep, I see it.
Of just letting the idiot dig their own grave.
Would you
True.
describe yourself as a feminist?
Yes.
Do you believe in
Ooh.
gender equality?
Yeah, of
Ooh. It's okay.
course.
Okay, don't you think you ought to split the bill on the first date?
No, because my main concern with gender equality is through, like, yes, in society, like, fixing that, and through...
I love it when people speak so much, but they mean so little. Like, there is not a singular point that she's trying to convey. There's nothing. The words are just flowing out, but like, what's your point, lady? I do not know.
through, like, the system, but...
This turned out to be
Yeah.
a brilliant move since
The system. Yeah. So true. So true, bestie. It's all in the
it
system.
allowed Brian to perfectly market the Whatever channel on social media by cleverly splashing the Whatever logo all over the studio and utilizing both Twitter and TikTok to push out a constant barrage of viral clips.
I didn't really like the guy. I more just wanted to.
Why is her titty censored? Is it because it's too small, too big? Wait, what happened? Where the titty at? Why am I getting censored? Is it a horny police?
See if I could
What the fuck?
break his heart. It was fun.
So did you break his heart then?
I hope I did a little.
I remember this girl, the one who dated and just like tried to break the guy's heart. What the fucking scum? If you go into a relationship and you just want to break someone's heart, it's, you know, I don't want to wish bad things on anyone. I just hope that one day you will really have to go to the bathroom because the taco is disagreeing with you, but there will be no available bathrooms around. That's all I'm wishing.
Damage.
Why do you hope that you did a little damage?
Just, I like humbling men.
This
Bro, I like humbling men. Bro, they're already suffering so hard. Leave men alone. What the fuck, man? Aren't they already miserable? Why must you do this? It's like that guy must have been so happy. He's like, oh my god, I have a lovely girlfriend and she is pretty and she's cute and she loves me, and now I'm depressed. Now I wanna jump.
made the Whatever podcast the most talked about dating podcast online. However, with all of that success comes a lot of attention and a lot of hate.
Because I'm pretty sure the Whatever podcast is despicable.
Every time I feel like we stamp out a roach, aka a white man with a podcast like
I love casual racism. I also like competitive racism, but casual racism is also very good.
this.
For dudes with terrible opinions.
Brian, bro. I don't want any more Brian. His little voice and his little crap. The most dripless person you've ever seen in your life.
I don't trust people with a mustache like that. I just don't. I don't. That's no, man. I don't trust people with the mustache and the mullet. Nope. Yeah, the mullet. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I just don't trust him. Where is the beard? It's gone, along with my trust. But the mustache is sexy. Listen, I will pass on him. You can take him.
His little voice and his little crap. The most dripless person you've ever.
He actually looks like a corn star. Beautiful. The fucking mullet is sending me. I can't.
Ever seen in your life.
I hope that they crash and burn.
So this all begs the question, where does the hate come from and why do major publications go out of their way to attack the Whatever podcast? Well, it comes from the fact that the Whatever podcast does two things very well. Brian will calmly and respectfully use logic and reason.
Oh no, they can't do that? Fighting women with logic? No, you can't do that. That's like misogynist and shit. You can't, you have to be fair, man. You also, nice diva body dress. I like it.
To simply use their own arguments against them.
Like, just put more effort into, like, coming up with something
There's so many
different.
things that you could do.
Just put more effort and...
Just put in more effort, says the panel of women that never planned to first date in their lives.
Ouch. They definitely...
That fucking face. Well, anyways, who asked you? Actually, it is not true. And who are you to talk to me? Oh my god.
They definitely didn't like that one. Please drop a like on the video if you think that modern women are completely blind to their own hypocrisy, and comment down below what you think. When someone like Brian exposes this while enjoying massive success online, then a general narrative states that he must be taken down, and the mainstream media outlets will jump
Did you like it? I'm practicing my Valley girl accent.
at the chance to do so. Which brings us to May 2nd of 2023, when Vice dropped a poorly researched hit piece accusing the podcast.
The latest trend in podcast is making women look dumb. Now, I am not saying that they are not cutting the most funny parts together. I'm just saying that maybe they are not trying very hard, and maybe it just comes naturally, and like with a quick scissoring of editing you have a funny compilation. Now I would never want to say that, but I'm just perhaps, you know,
Of making women look dumb.
perhaps.
Now clearly Vice
Oh, I like this woman.
This is the stuff I was talking about a few days ago as coup.
Yeah.
These girls exist more common than one would think.
Yeah.
Not all girls are like the monsters that show up on these podcasts.
The monsters.
But there are far more than there should be. And you called me a misogynist last week.
I would
Shame.
never call you a misogynist. That wasn't me. That was your other streamer. Are you cheating on me? What the fuck? What is he talking about? Baby girl, that wasn't me. Stop cheating on me.
Guys never actually watched any of the episodes, or they would have known that these women...
I wasn't even streaming last week, you whore. I was being depressed. I just realized it. It literally wasn't me. I didn't stream last week.
and do not need any help with looking dumb.
You guys are so shallow. Shallow. I like a 6'4" guy.
6'4".
How much is 6'4"? That must be like 2 meter. No? That must be like 2 meters, 6'4". How much is that in like normal units? 2 meter, bro. Like these girls wanna be like spit roasted. They just wanna spin like a Beyblade on that man. Jesus.
4.
Yes, because
5'2",
my
6'4".
last relationship, I was with a 6'4" guy.
By the way,
and
they're
he
not
was
going to see you
amazing.
there.
He was so big, like perfect height.
I swear to God. Yeah, I like there is this weird like this little weird thing that if a girl wants a guy to be manly and tall, then it's alright. But if a guy wants a small and cute and feminine girl, then you're not a TXT, but something else, you know? Like, do you see? It's like, I don't quite... it's almost like they were meant to be together. But if the guy wants it, then you are a bad person. But if the girl wants it, then it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
A PNG? Yeah, like an Adobe Acrobat file.
Just perfect. Now the article tries to frame
a webm. You're such a scum that you're a webm. That's the extension I hate the most. I'm going to call people I hate a webm.
These women as innocent little creatures that come on the podcast just to get some attention, whilst Brian, the host, is just a big mean manipulator. But in reality, Brian is actually the one who gets attacked a lot on the podcast, and not for his arguments, but simply for who he is.
My question to you is, I disagree with you on...
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
Oh my god, she's cosplaying from that anime. Where the blonde chick is hot. The Gunnar anime. She's doing the thing. Do you see that girl? She's cosplaying.
White boy. Like, that's so different.
And you're white.
If yeah, just
a white man looking at me, telling me...
That's a bit racist.
Yeah, dude, like... I don't want to be like that. I hate it. Like, does she know that she's a white girl?
She's cosplaying from Concord.
Dude, I hate it how normal it become to like when they say white man, they don't mean that you're a man who is white. They could just call you like a scum man. And it's just the white is like what they say instead of what they mean. It's like so... Fuck, how do you say lekazalo in English? It's that. Whatever, I forgot how to say that word. Bedan.
That's a bit racist.
A bit.
Oh my god, no, you're one of those.
Yeah, it like looks down on you. Yeah, sort of. Demeaning, yeah.
You don't think
degrading.
You can be racist towards someone...
Condescending, yes, that's a good word. There you go. Excellent word, I forgot.
Who's white?
No, I don't.
This blatant form of racism conducted by so many liberal women when they don't get their way is never mentioned in any of the major publications, even though they love to constantly whine about inclusivity and equality. Now luckily, Brian is not afraid to call women out on this hypocritical and toxic behavior.
Hold on.
Okay, sure.
If there was a black girl at this table and I was attempting to dismiss her point because of her skin color, would it be my preference if a girl just didn't even have social media? Probably.
That part was cut out. Where is the answer to the question? They cut that part out. Cheeky bastard. I would have loved to see what the reaction was.
This is giving red flag. I'm not gonna lie.
See, but here's the interesting thing is that men are not allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries.
That's true.
No.
Yeah, like you get what you're given, okay? If you get a girl who only has 4 toes, you have to take it. Okay? That's it. No refunds, no returns.
Nobody bats an eye when a woman says, I want XYZ in a partner. But the moment the guy says boundaries, preferences, and standards, oh, misogyny, red flag.
True.
Now, not only does Brian protect himself very well from toxic feminists, but he also manages to protect...
Yeah, man. 5 toes in this economy per feet? I don't think so, buddy. I don't think so. Having standards? Nah, man. You can't say no to me. I'm sorry. You must love me. If you don't love me, you're a hoe.
Protect his skin and is looking great for a guy in his late 30s. And with today's sponsor, Teach Henley...
What? Teach Henley? Uncomplicated skincare for men? Why is it so bougie?
You can do the same. With Teach Henley, you get access...
That's so bougie. Dude, uncomplicated. 1 step, 2 steps, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bro. Does this guy know that people use Head and Shoulders to wash their head, their entire body, and their balls? And you come here with a 7-step skincare routine and you call it uncomplicated? Like, I don't know, man. I don't think they thought this through. We get you. We are you. You don't get me, bro. You don't get me.
Level 2 or the level 3 system.
Nah.
One from a major publication. Since on the 2nd of June...
What's a super serum? It's like a serum. Serum? A serum, but it's super.
The New York Post also released a hit piece on...
Making women dumb is a disturbing new podcast trend. How? So, are they saying that this guy... So, this guy who is interviewing is either incredibly intelligent and women's logic pales compared to him, or he has a superpower that dumbs the average IQ of the room and forcibly, like Xavier, Professor Xavier, he just mentally pushes them down. Both of them are impressive. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah. Amazing.
Brian and whatever, titled Making Women Look Dumb is a disturbing new podcast trend. Again, claiming that Brian belittles female guests and makes them look dumb. After this, a couple of smaller outlets and channels piled on, but the story never really got any traction and died out afterwards.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the problem is ever that these girls are dumb. Like, if you go onto a podcast and you say something silly and you're like, oh shit, I'm so sorry, I said something bullshit, no one will care. The problem here is that these girls go there with a huge fucking ego, like I'm better than everyone and you're just a dumbass, and how dare you and how could you? And then they get put into their places and it's like, oh no, he's just a misogynist. No, you know, like they're just being obnoxious and annoying and they just can't take it.
However, one hater in particular stood out by the name of Lila Rose, who was a content creator, and Lila first used whatever to boost her exposure, only to then turn around and bite Ryan and whatever. Like,
bro, she bit him? She's a zombie. Put her into quarantine, man. Put a muzzle on her if she's biting. What do you mean? This motherfucker is just chewing on his ankles.
the true snake that she is.
Do you agree with my assessment that it takes these women and just makes fun of them, and it just feeds angry men?
I think it does a lot of that, but I don't know that the host has a fully developed worldview.
Is he a Christian?
I don't think so. Yeah.
That would help.
This woman is giving new meaning to the term speaking with forked tongue, because when she was reviewing her experience on the Whatever podcast with Ruslan, she had a completely different story.
I'm a biter, but I'm cute.
Yeah, I think it's such a unique place on the internet to have a space where people from extraordinarily different backgrounds and worldviews and behavior sets are coming together to talk very candidly and in a very vulnerable.
She has extremely long eyelashes. Do you think that's natural? Like that's like 1.5 centimeters. That's so long. That's amazing. No? There's extensions? Is it? I mean, it could be natural. Maybe she's just blessed with, like, she has nice, strong, and thick hair. It could be natural. Fake one? Doubt it. It's so long.
very vulnerable way, I feel. I mean, the people just kind of sharing about their very personal lives in a way that is not there to like shame each other. I don't think that is that's not my experience on the show anyways.
Do you agree with my assessment that it takes these women and just makes fun of them, and it just feeds?
Bro, stop glazing her. She's not gonna fuck you, buddy. There's no point for the glazing.
The funny part is that these podcasts only ask questions of these girls. If they end up looking dumb, it's entirely their own fault.
Right?
Another example of women are powerful and independent but are not responsible for any of the ideas that come out of their own mouth.
Of course. I really do think that there is like, this must be somewhere the fault of the parent, that you raise a child, right? You raise a daughter and there is no consequences to your actions. Like, they are actually not being punished because she's just a girl, she's just a baby, she's just too cute, she's so pretty, and like, everyone lets you get away with shit, and then you grow up and you become this like mean-spirited, cruel little thing where you just break people's heart as a hobby, and you're just like, you cannot say a perfectly put together coherent sentence because you constantly have to fill up your words with like and it's just the system and whatever comes out of their mouth.
It's angry men.
I think it does a lot of that. It's like people generally.
I saw a few of these whatever podcasts, but I never seen the men angry. I saw them giggle because someone said something so hilariously dumb that they were just like trying to hold it back and wait for her to finish it, and they were just giggling and looking at each other, but they were never angry.
They're very courteous with each other. I think there's a tendency to objectify women, like even some of the things.
Okay, here's a hot take. Is it really objectifying when the girls come in and I can see all the way to their nipples? Because there was a few girls who I was like, you are so not covered, girl. Like I'm seeing everything and more. Like there was one girl who had to be censored. Well, to be fair, it could be edited. You think they are editing their tits to look like they are wearing glass? You think like, I am not sure. I'm not sure about that.
I didn't approve of. I didn't like what he did. I don't think he has to do that for the podcast.
So after her claiming it was a waste of time and that the host is exploiting vulnerable women, she then goes back on the podcast.
Dude, I don't know what's the fascination with height. Maybe they just really want a very tall house where they can settle down and they wanna have like the pickle jar on the top and make sure that the husband can reach it. Like, other than that, what's the point of a guy being obscenely tall?
Podcast 2 more times, once in June and once in August, and continues to milk the podcast like crazy for clips and content for both of her channels.
She's grinding.
While fully understanding how this all benefits her.
Podcast exploration thing, which is very exciting.
And you've since blown up.
We're growing, thank God. Yeah, we've got amazing listeners.
Red Pill Space.
Yeah.
You're like a household name now.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, is whatever like Red Pill?
This woman is just like the
titty, side titty. She's pulling up her panties. There is a lot of things going on here, man. And I swear to God, it's not just me being a gooner. Okay, partially I'm being a gooner, but you know.
OF and Instagram models that.
I am objectifying her so much. Oh my lord, my goodness, it's on me. It's all on me. Oh my, she has a nice ass. Hot damn, what was this podcast about? Holy shit.
That she despises. They go on whatever just to go viral, hoping to boost their socials and make lots of money.
Oh no, that was so terrible. Oh, that was awful.
Understanding of the podcast was they're bringing these women in who don't know at all what they're talking about and making them look like idiots.
Now it's funny.
Well, okay, now whose fault is that if they are uneducated? Now, is it the guy's fault or is it the girl's fault? What?
It's still objectification. But I'm only doing it because you've done it to yourself. If you don't want me to appreciate your tits, then the obvious solution is don't show me your tits. Cinema.
True, but you can't say that.
How this moron is basically repeating the Vice article verbatim as if he wrote the damn thing, because just like the writer of the Vice article, he hasn't even watched the podcast himself, except for 20 seconds of clips.
That was
Yeah.
the like 10-second, or maybe I've watched like 2 or 3 clips.
I think
that's
they've
what
done-
it looked like.
I mean, talk about the pot calling the kettle black, since this guy's whole argument is about how the Whatever podcast is only inviting uneducated idiots to talk about topics that they have no knowledge of.
The thing is that it's not like they're talking about like quantum theory or like science, right? Like these questions that they are asking is usually life, relationship, and like society. Like, what's your opinion on like, do you think that you're a feminist? Do you think that the guy should pay? What's your opinion on gender equality? Like, it's not something that you have to learn. It's something that occurs to you as you live life. Yeah, it's literally not rocket science. So it's kind of strange. It's almost misogynist to say that these girls are not capable of like understanding these questions. Like, do you think that they are that dumb that they cannot express an opinion over something that happens in the everyday life? That's because that sounds kind of mean to me.
While he hasn't even watched the podcast and has no idea what's actually going on. And so you see, these are the types of snakes that attack the Whatever podcast and will write articles such as the Vice and New York articles about making women look bad.
Doesn't anyone even read New York Post and stuff like that? Lifestyle, weird but true. Hell, sex and relationship, violent human interest, as opposed to AI or pet interest, parenting, astrology. Is this like a gossip news website?
All while never even watching the
Boomers
episode.
there.
But what's even more noticeable is that this constant crying about whatever making women look bad is completely missing the point, which is that the only reason why these women look bad is because they are trying to defend
I mean, they look good. They just sound bad.
an idiotic feminist propaganda, which is completely void of logic
To
and
be
based
fair.
entirely on feelings.
You guys are all just like really misogynist.
There's like all of them look pretty good, but
How do you define misogyny?
oh, it's so easy for them to use a word that they can't even define. It's just you're like oh my god, like such a misogynist. So what do you mean by that? Well, you know, oh my god.
No, how do you define misogyny?
I don't know. I don't like this.
She doesn't like this. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That's a big word for a big girl. It's fine. If you don't like tough questions, don't make tough accusations. It's easy. You have to understand that many of these beautiful women have never encountered accountability. Like, they won't be scolded, they will not be punished because they are pretty, they can get away with everything, and they don't have to think. You know, they are just like la la la, strolling through life. Everything is nice, everything is pink and like exciting. Someone pays for your shit, you don't have to work, you just have to be cute and like just show up, maybe suck a dick or two, I don't know. And it's like a joy. And it's like you go to this place and someone is asking you a question and you're like, ooh.
Now, another important point to make here, and one that proves that the majority of haters has never actually watched the Whatever podcast, is that many of the episodes actually feature a lot of intelligent women that are excellent at voicing their opinion and will wipe the floor with other women that only operate on feelings.
Like I said, my whole thing is I think feminism is very counterproductive to women, and like even going into a
I don't know if I can point this out. Can I point this out? I want to point out something. I don't know if I am allowed to. But like, have you noticed that the more well-spoken ladies are dressed a little bit more modestly? Like, they are still very fashionable and feminine and beautiful, but like, I cannot see all the way into her side titty and her nipple. How strange. Yeah, it's I'm not, it might be a coincidence. I am not trying to say a hot take over anything. Okay, bigot. I'm not saying anything. I'm noticing you know what? You caught me. You caught me. You caught me. I have my hands up. My titties out. You caught me.
A whole nother aspect of this, they when I see actual civil rights deterioration for women, which is what feminism should stand up for.
We're obviously evolved now. And it's like, it's your choice. Like, yeah, if you're a girl and you want to have a job, go have a job. But in no way or shape or form, like, is it shameful to be a housewife?
I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but we also have to always acknowledge that that's a luxury that so many women don't have. And so, like, feminism, there's aspects of feminism that do benefit women. Just like there's
Dude, she could be a vampire who could suckle on my throat, and we would go to like a disco and like the blood rain. It would be so cool. Right? Say, right? Is it just me?
Aspects of feminism that might hurt women and hurt men.
And so clearly,
she could drain me too.
The women who use
the Blade shows up and ruins the entire party. God damn it. Did you watch Blade recently? Maybe. I just really like Wesley Snipes, I'm sorry.
And logic actually come off looking very good, since they look poised and knowledgeable and are great at debating different issues, which proves that the Whatever podcast is not out here trying to make women look dumb, but it's about debunking feminist propaganda and the hypocrisy that exists in society today when it comes to dating and relationships. Now, the counter argument that you'll hear a lot is that all the viral clips are of women looking dumb and not of women looking.
Well, it's because it's more fun to watch women saying dumb shit. I don't think that's strange. I feel like we established that content that has something to do with making fun of people always does better than listening to an actually articulate woman say her opinion about whatever. Yeah, I don't think that's weird.
Hi, Asku. Hi, chat. How are you guys doing?
We are discussing about the ladies.
Looking poised and making excellent points. Well, to that I say, you cannot control what goes viral because society and the algorithm do.
Not Asku writing her vampire smut fantasy midstream.
I am not.
Yay for well-spoken vampire mommies.
I am not. I'm just saying that can't a girl have her independent horny
I find
thoughts?
it amusing to watch people who are completely unaware of what they are.
I want to repeat it. I don't think the problem is that like they don't have well-established opinions. Like the problem isn't that she couldn't define what misogyny is. The problem is that she called the guy a misogynist because the guy probably asked something that made her uncomfortable or she disagreed with him, and like that was the immediate thing that, okay, you're a bad person, instead of just like trying to actually communicate and understand his side. And then you look like a dumbass because you can't even say what the word you said he is mean. So I'm sorry, I don't really have pity for these kind of people.
And so you can't then blame Brian for picking clips that are most likely to go viral to best promote his podcast, since in the end it is his full-time job. So just like companies use shiny things to lure you in with their commercials,
I like the helmet too.
The Whatever podcast uses the most likely to go viral clips to lure you in and then to later get you involved in the larger conversation.
Do you think it's all real? Do you think it's all real? I hope so. Nah. Yes. Nah. No. I actually do. Yeah. You see plastic on the middle? God damn, man. I wasn't blessed.
About dating and life in general. Now the problem isn't Brian or the Whatever podcast, but it is the fact that modern women are lying to younger women, filling their heads with a bunch of delusional beliefs. The big one being, you can do whatever you want and that people will have to like you and date you as if consequences do not exist and you can just make up your own reality. However, when these women then go out into the real world and get confronted by how men view them, they will get very angry since no one ever told them no or told them that they were wrong and were engaging in undesirable.
It's actually crazy how lip fillers are common in the US. Like, I look across these girls and like I'm starting to notice the signs of a migrated lip filler. It's like when you have like this tiny shadow on the top of your lip, that means that you had a lip filler and then it just migrated. And it's like everywhere. Right? It's subtle, like you don't notice it, but like the longer I look at them, I can tell that, okay, they probably had Botox, right? Because everyone is smooth as fuck. And they probably had some lip fillers because everyone is puckered up. And I'm just like, damn, it is really that common. Like, everyone has it. Maybe I got the lip filler? Oh, shit. Now that you mention it, I am also puckered up. Holy shit.
Behavior. Now, to be
it migrated so hard that now it's in my lips.
fair, the Whatever podcast is not without blame for some of the criticism it's receiving, since Brian has made some serious mistakes on the podcast, making it very easy for his critics to hate on Whatever and call it misogyny. For example, when he had this guy on the
Oh my god, what did they ask him? He's a little bit intense over there. Oh my goodness. What the hell?
podcast, who is an absolute douchebag and a certified creep with some crazy extracurricular activities that I can't even mention on this platform, he actually caused the entire show to turn to shit due to the men defending a terrible stance on staying in certain relationships. Now, this is exactly what I meant when I said that the women make themselves look bad when they argue illogical beliefs. Because when you are defending stupidity, there's just no way you're gonna come out looking good. Now, obviously, this does not happen often on the podcast, but when it does happen, it's these types of examples that will be used to paint the entire podcast as a women-bashing hellhole.
Dude, she's like an elf or an angel. You could put like long ears on her and she could be slipping into the Lord of the Rings effortlessly. She's very pretty. Yeah, she's very cute.
Brian has managed to create a very nice product with the
Right?
Whatever podcast that he should definitely be proud of and that he should protect with his life. Because in today's climate, you have to carefully screen your guest to make sure that the discussion does not get out of control, since this only opens him up to demonetization and deplatforming. Now, in today's climate, it really does.
Women are calling out sexist male podcast hosts with viral TikTok trend. Aren't you lucky that if you just don't like someone, you can just call them words? Like, it doesn't matter that they're not sexist, but like, you can just call them that. It is alright.
Doesn't take
It's so
much for
easy.
men to get demonetized or even deplatformed,
Yeah.
since simply having a podcast and being a man is already a bad thing in itself. The New York Times even wrote an article about
Would you date a podcast, bro? Is it bad to have a podcast? I thought people like podcasts. Like, okay, I'm not talking about like the Jake Paul kind of thing. I just don't like those fellas, but I thought podcasts are usually cool.
this, titled Would You Date a Podcast Bro?, which is all about how it is a red flag to simply have a podcast and exist as a man. And the men with podcasts are full of themselves and are contributing nothing to society. Which all just proves the true motivation behind the Whatever attacks, which is that women with podcasts are good and men with podcasts are bad.
Well, I mean, come on. Come on. How did you not know this? Like, it's 2025. We all established women good, men bad. Again, women good, men boo. Everyone knows this. Come on. You guys are basically second-class citizens. But just get used to it. What do you mean? Am I bad? Of course. Everything. You're bad. Everything is bad. Not even. Unless you're Pearl. Oh god, that girl is so strange. I don't know much about Pearl, but like apparently there is this girl who is like very much on the other side of things. And I saw her, she was wearing a shirt that women should not have rights to vote. And I was like, oh no. Oh no. She's an actual pick me, but isn't that the joke that no one wants to pick her? Like, man. Weird.
Women are constantly getting away with saying the most vile and misandrous things about men, and they are never getting criticized for it. In fact, they actually get celebrated and are called brave and fearless, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, on the surface, the two articles attacking Brian and Whatever podcast might seem like a small bump on the road. However, as we've seen time and time again on YouTube, whenever a major publication starts writing about a creator in a negative way, the platform gets very upset quickly and will start to make the creator's life a living hell. You often see impressions nosedive, random videos getting demonetized, and sometimes even strikes popping up out of nowhere on videos that have been on the platform for years. The Vice article in May perfectly correlates with a massive drop in views in the same month, and the additional piling on in the months after explain why the podcast is now struggling to get back to its previous highs. It is obvious that the success of the Whatever podcast and the following attacks is yet another example of society and in particular.
Dude, who reads Vice? Who reads anything journalist anymore? Like, for real.
Feminists not being able to handle when they are outed for doing the very same thing they love to accuse men of.
Other journalists.
Now, the point of the Whatever podcast is not to make women look bad. It is to challenge people on their own beliefs and arguments, especially when they make it their life's purpose. If you're going to be loud about the existence of a patriarchy or calling everything misogyny, then you should at least know what you're talking about and understand the words that you're using. Since if you go on...
Dude, she actually started crying. Because this is the girl who couldn't tell what was misogyny and she started crying. Ain't no way. Dude. This is practiced. The one thing, she's better than the actresses. Yeah. If you're crying, that means you're right. Oh, okay. Fair enough. That's just so weird. Like, you know what's weird? That this is like a children's mechanism. It's like when a child is learning how to regulate their emotions and they say something and then they get scolded and their reaction is just to burst out into a tantrum. You know, like, it's not like oh shit, like, she could have been like, fuck, I actually don't know. I'm sorry, my bad. Like, I just said something because I felt like that you were a jackass to me, right? And then she wouldn't have looked stupid. She would have been like, yeah, sure, you use the word you don't know, but like, there is a little bit of like humble pie in what you're saying, but like, you just start crying? That's so weird.
If you go on a podcast and say nothing but nonsense for 3 or 5 hours straight, then selecting 1 or 2 clips for a teaser is not making you look dumb, you simply are dumb.
Oof.
This was Why the Whatever podcast is under attack. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos.
No, actually, he does have a point. I don't want to be like that, but yeah, he kind of does have a point. He can say that. No, he can't. It's all right. He can definitely not say that.